Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and Tony here with a review of Rolando Villazon's and Ildar Abdrazakov's concert with conductor Guerasim Voronkov, which I saw at the Berliner Philharmonie, and they performed works composed by the likes of Arrigo Boito, Giuseppe Verdi, Sergei Rachmaninoff, and a myriad of other great composers. I was very excited for their concert because not only was this the first time I saw Rolando Villazon live after hearing him in a lot of YouTube clips and, of course, one of his albums, but because this concert was meant to celebrate the release of their new CD, Duets. And a bit of a fanboy moment here, I also have their autographs. It was certainly a great moment for me because I have to say that both Senor Villazon and Signore Abdrazakov were really fine, elegant, and natural gentlemen. And on top of that, they were extremely charismatic. And of course, I also had a picture with both of them. So, Senores Villazon and Abdrazakov, if you're watching this video, I wish you two a happy, pleasant, prosperous, and awesome Thanksgiving. And think of this review as my Thanksgiving gift to you guys. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. The concert started off with the overture to Donna Clara, composed by Emil Nikolaus von Resnicek. And I thought that this was an elegant, gorgeous, and really exciting opening to get the feel of adrenaline and that exciting feeling which you get in your gut, which makes it for a fine opening. And then we see Senor Villazon perform his rendition of Giuseppe Verdi's Le Sule, and I thought that he was absolutely fine in this particular song. However, there are times that his mannerisms were quite excessive, and it wasn't just evidenced in this song, but in fact, the entire concert. But it's also safe to say that his charisma shone brilliantly. Yes, his voice didn't really have that metal and that overall abandon that he was so well known for, because in the past, Senor Villazon basically specialized in a great deal of not only full lyric tenor roles, but also attempted the spinto tenor repertoire. But along the line, he kind of had a little bit of trouble with his voice, so much so that he nowadays specializes in the Mozart / Baroque / early bel canto repertoire, though mostly leaning towards Mozart, Handel, and Gluck. But even though he doesn't really have some of those super high notes like his trademark high C's or B's and even probably some D flats, I still have to say that Rolando Villazon was still a very charismatic and a very fine and engaging performer, not only with Giuseppe Verdi's Le Sule, but also with Stanislau Gastaldon's Musica Prohibita, which I thought he sang with much melancholy, and of course, that trademark expressivity that is found in his voice is still much in evidence. So I still have to give a lot of kudos to Rolando Villazon for being a charismatic performer, as he's always been in his career, and of course, for doing everything with such abandon, and of course, for being an engaging performer. The one who stole the show for me was indubitably Ildar Abdrazakov. Much like how I managed to follow Rolando Villazon's career, I've been following Signore Abdrazakov's career for quite some time. He did start off as a bass baritone, but as he grew into the basso cantante repertoire, he became more in demand with such roles like Attila, Filippo II, and many other great roles for a basso cantante. Oh, and let's not forget his renditions of Mephistopheles from not only Faust, but also Mephistopheles, and I think he also did Mephistopheles from La Damnation du Faust by Hector Berlioz. It's safe to say that Ildar Abdrazakov has always been a charismatic, engaging, and simply put, wonderful vocal actor. The way he was able to use his tall, dashing, and handsome stage presence to his advantage was certainly inviting. His highlights were indubitably Mentre gonfiarsi l'anima, which then leads up to the cabaletta Oltre quel limite from Giuseppe Verdi's Attila, and of course his encore number Don Basilio's La Calunnia e un Venticello from Gioacchino Rossini's Il Barbiere di Siviglia. Oh, and let's not forget his renditions of Rachmaninoff's Ne poi Krasavica Prine, and of course the duets he had with Rolando Villazon, which were Granada, composed by Agustin Lara, and Ochi Ciornie, composed by Florian Hermann and Evgeny Khrebrenka. And of course, let's not forget their wonderfully stunning rendition of Funiculi Funicula. I thought that both Abdrazakov and Villazon had excellent chemistry. However, if you ask me, I felt that Abdrazakov was the one who carried the weight of the entire concert. And Rolando Villazon was there to basically boost the entire concert, but ultimately Ildar Abdrazakov was, in my opinion, the shining star. But I still have to give a lot of kudos to both Rolando Villazon and Ildar Abdrazakov for their superb chemistry. I can tell that these two gentlemen had a lot of great fun performing all of these songs and arias together, and of course, their musicality was unparalleled. So overall, when you have two pros like Rolando Villazon and Ildar Abdrazakov singing up a storm, then you know darn well that this was a Thanksgiving that is worth remembering. And of course, the conducting done by Gerasim Voronkov was quite solid. Yes, there were times he was a bit sluggish, most especially in his rendition of Ponchielli's The Dance of the Hours from La Gioconda, but he still managed to keep the tempo quite well. And of course, the way he led the orchestra was pretty solid, especially well evidenced in Pietro Mascagni's intermezzo from Cavalleria Rusticana and the overture to Donna Diana by von Reznicek. And he was just an overall great conductor who definitely knew how to work off of the orchestra really well, but also work off of the charisma and the overall professionalism of both Rolando Villazon and Ildar Abdrazakov. So overall, this was a Thanksgiving treat that was worth remembering, with two such superb vocalists in the forms of Rolando Villazon and Ildar Abdrazakov, a fine conductor like Gerasim Voronkov, and of course the orchestra, who was as always just great all around. This was definitely an overall fine concert, which showcased the wonderful musicianship of Rolando Villazon and Ildar Abdrazakov. And for those of you who caught this particular concert, what did you think of it? Did you feel like both Rolando Villazon and Ildar Abdrazakov were at their strongest? Did you feel like Ildar Abdrazakov was the stronger performer? Or did you feel like there was something that just didn't really hold up? Comment below and let me know. Well, that's all for now. And a more somber note here, this review is also dedicated to Dmitry Khodorkovsky. And Ildar Abdrazakov and Rolando Villazon asked us, the audience, to also pay our respects to Dmitry Khodorkovsky, as he's also been a major influence in not only Abdrazakov's career as an opera singer, but also that of Villazon's. And it's really sad to hear that someone as magnificent and someone as dashing like Signore Khodorkovsky has finally transcended the flesh. So, Dmitry Khodorkovsky, this review is not only dedicated to your really wonderful colleagues Ildar Abdrazakov and Rolando Villazon and Gerasim Voronkov, but also to you. You have been a major influence in not only the opera world, but also to us fans and people around the world. So, Dmitry Hovorosovsky, may you rest in peace, and may your legacy forever live on. And as a Red Ribbon reviewer, I would also love to promote Gaia, which is an organization in Africa which will definitely help us Red Ribbon reviewers to stop the AIDS epidemic. So please donate what you can to this organization, and together we can stop AIDS. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in for another review. And until then, good night, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.